Okay, I'm going to do a quick lesson on using cycles in Maya. We're going to learn how to create them and what we use them for and little gotchas to look out for when you're working with cycles. So I've got this little piece of geometry here. It's just a cube that I've scaled and shifted the pivot point on so that it sits right at the base here. And I'm going to set 3 basic keyframes on the rotate Z to create the cycle. It's going to go key selected on frame 1, and I'm going to give it a value of 40, and then I'm going to key that same value on frame 20, and then I'm going to go to frame 10, and I'm going to key the value negative 40 and rotate Z. And then this is what that animation is going to look like. We've got ourselves a little windscreen wiper. Alright, let's have a look in the graph editor and see what those curves look like. So here you can see that on frame 1 I have a value of 40 on my rotate X on frame 1, and here on frame 10 I have a value of minus 40, and on frame 20 I have another value of 40. Now it's really important that the keyframe start and end of the cycle holds the same value. Otherwise you get this big pop in your cycle. And we can take a look at that in a second. But first let's learn how to create a cycle in the graph editor. So there are 2 ways to do it. One is through the curves menu. You can come up here and you can choose pre-infinity cycle, which will create a cycle back here from this frame backwards. And you can choose post-infinity cycle under that same menu, which would create a cycle going forwards this way. Or if you marquee drag select on the curve, you can just click this button here and this button here, and there's our cycle. You can see if I zoom out, that's just going on forever. Let's have a look at what that looks like in the viewport here. Little windscreen wipers off and running, doing its thing. Alright, let's see if we can introduce that pop that I was talking about and see if we can have a look at what that looks like. Alright, so there's our curve. Now if I had accidentally put a different value in at the start or at the end, let's just say we put a value of 65 in here instead of 40, so you can see right away that we're getting this big steep jump over one frame. It's going to read like a pop. See how easy it is to see. There it is. Okay, if we go back over here, go to frame 20, that's it. And then we'll skip forward one frame, you'll see the pop. Boom, there it is. That's what we're seeing here. Alright, let's fix that by placing our first keyframe back the value of 40, and now we've got a nice clean cycle happening again. There you go. That's how you set up cycling animation in Maya. Pretty straightforward, really.